Hello, my name is KaylaPhlegar and I am here to talk about the salt mining experiment. Before I go into the details of the experiment, I want to explain a little bit about atoms and ions. All matter is made up of a material called atoms, and atoms are made up of subatomic particles called protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons have a positive charge, electrons have a negative charge, and neutrons, as you might guess, have a neutral charge. An ion is an atom or a group of atoms that either has a net positive or a net negative charge. A cation is a type of ion that has a positive charge, and an anion is a type of ion that has a negative charge. So if you have a cation and an anion, they are attracted to each other. Opposite charges attract, and so those can form what is called an ionic bond. An ionic bond is a metal and a nonmetal that are attracted together based on their charges. So for example, table salt or sodium chloride can form an ionic bond. Sodium, which is a metal, has a typically positive charge. Chlorine, which is a nonmetal, has a typically negative charge. Since sodium has a +1 charge and chlorine has a -1 charge, those two are attracted together and can form together into what is called an ionic bond. Basically, sodium transfers one of its electrons over to chlorine, and the two are attracted to one another. For the experiment that we're going to be doing today to test this out, we are going to be testing to see if a negative charge, aka static electricity, will attract either table salt or pepper. I know that sodium chloride or table salt has a neutral charge. You know this because all ionic bonds have a neutral charge because the positive and negative charges that each of the atoms has to cancel each other out. So sodium's positive, chlorine is negative, those two cancel each other out and now become neutral. Because I know this, at this point I am unsure what the charge of pepper might be, but I know that a negative charge with the static electricity would only be able to attract a positive charge. Since sodium is neutral, I'm going to assume that the static electricity is going to attract the pepper in this experiment. So to start this experiment, I needed a couple of things. I needed a balloon, which would be the source of a static electricity. We needed salt and pepper and a plate to hold the salt and pepper. I started out by blowing up my balloon and mixing together salt and pepper on a plate. I used the balloon and rubbed it against my hair to create the static electricity. When I did this, the balloon, which is made out of rubber, became negatively charged. So it had that static electricity and now is negatively charged. So the next step is going to be to hold the balloon over the plate of salt and pepper and see what happens. So I took a video and I'm going to show you a couple of seconds of that video. Obviously, I was really impressed when the video came into action. I decided to record part of it in slow motion so that you could see the effects of the pepper clinging to the balloon while the salt remained on the plate untouched. So it was really fascinating to watch. I had never seen anything like this in action before, so I really enjoyed getting to see the things that I've been learning about, take place in a real life kind of situation. So as you can see, the pepper is attracting to the balloon. The salt, again, is remaining untouched on the plate. So this next slide is going to show some of the results of that, but I just want to show you the end of the video where you can kind of see the rest of the pepper collecting. Oops. You can see how quickly it's coming up onto the balloon. So when you take a look at the results, you can see that the balloon is full of pepper, and again, the salt has remained on the plate. It didn't move at all. It was not attracted to the balloon, just like I hypothesized. What I took out of this experiment was that the pepper was positively charged, and the reason that I do know that is because positive and negative charges attract to one another. So since we do know that the balloon had a negative charge, the pepper must have had a positive charge in order for it to react and to be attracted to that balloon. The salt had a neutral charge, so it was untouched. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I had a lot of fun doing the experiment, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else this course has in store. Thanks so much.